to another Port Jackson Securities webinar. Thank you, Peter, for joining us on this lovely day. I'm very excited to hearing a bit more about Forrestania and what's been happening.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate everyone's time and interest. Forrestania is a junior lithium explorer. Predominantly, we listed just over a year ago. Our main area of interest is in the Western Australian goldfields, and we've just started a major lithium drilling campaign. So I'll run through very quickly. This is the principal project. As I said, it's in the WA goldfields. The main area of interest particularly is the proximity to the world-class Earl Grey lithium project. That's the Mount Holland area that is being developed currently by Wesfarmers and SQM. That's got a 190 million tonne lithium resource, and we have picked up the ground that runs all the way down the prospective strike zone in the Goldilocks corridor, running for 100 kilometres north-south. So very prospective area. It's historically been mined for nickel and gold, and more recently for lithium. So we're very excited by the opportunity and ramping up our lithium exploration. The company, as I said, listed 20 cents in October 2021. We're currently sitting around 17-18 cents, 69 million shares on issue at the completion of a current capital raising. So we are very well leveraged to exploration success. We have a tight structure and a very supportive shareholder base. The team we beefed up our lithium team since listing, but predominantly technically we've got Billy Higgins as a director. But the management team we're very proud of. Melissa McClellan has come from Kidman, who discovered the Mount Holland lithium project, which is just next door to our ground. And Ashley Bennett, who is the gold focused exploration manager, comes from Northern Star, where they discovered a major granite hosted gold project. So we're very well technically supported and very well placed to prosecute this exploration program. So the strategic tenements we're talking about here, it's a very tight belt in terms of ownership. There's really only between us, there's IGO in the purple there on the screen, who bought the Western Areas tenement package, or bought Western Areas, and with that the whole tenement package, where Western Areas are drilling and mining for nickel. And in the blue is the covalent lithium portfolio, which includes the Mount Holland project. So really, we have a dominant position in this belt, and particularly just along both the east and western margins, which are the prospective granite greenstone contacts for lithium. Significantly, there is a lot of resources endowment in the project area, principally with the Earl Grey lithium project of 189 million tonnes at 1.5% lithium. The high-grade nickel mines that Western Areas have been developing, and it was the historic Bounty gold mine, which produced 1 million ounces of gold. So we're prospective for lithium, gold and nickel, but predominantly the interest at the moment is around us trying to find another pegmatite field that's prospective for lithium. This brings me on to our most advanced lithium prospect, which we call Bounty East because it's east of the Bounty and Earl Grey lithium projects. And it brings in, I suppose, an understanding of how the lithium mineralisation presents itself in this part of the world. So there's a lot of learnings from the Earl Grey lithium project, and particularly that the weathering profile, and by that the lithium in the area that's above what the weathering profile, which is about 60 metres, 0 to 60 metres, it most certainly leaches out, so you won't find any lithium in the pegmatites. But once you get through into the fresh rock below that weathering level, that's where the pegmatites are mineralized. We saw that at the Mount Holland Earl Grey pegmatites, where they started to get lithium from about 60 metres but hit 100-metre intercepts. So our major theoretical exploration model here is to drill. What we've seen is on this Bounty East prospect, they've drilled some shallow holes, intersected pegmatites. There's a lot of the Pathfinder mineralisation that signifies a specialised LCD pegmatite, so tantalum, beryllium, cesium, rubidium, but there's no lithium. And our model is that this needs to be drilled deeper so that you're into that target zone where the lithium will be present if it's a mineralised pegmatite. So this map here just shows where we're planning to drill. The previous drilling was not across the main part of the anomaly, and we'll be drilling these two lines here early in the new year to test the deeper part of this anomaly and to see whether we can discover a major pegmatite field. So it's very exciting, huge upside if we do strike success, and we're drilling that in. We had a first drill campaign we just completed, covered a couple of holes on this line and one to the south, and a follow-up program which we've now got approval for will cover the major part of the anomaly. The other major advanced project we have is the Gem Cutter lithium prospect, where the previous explorers discovered 34 metres at 3.1% lithium in a drill hole that got the drill tray down here. They followed up the hole and weren't able to discover a similar width, and after that they walked away. This is obviously drilled in a different lithium market to today. We're just finalising our approvals and hope to be in to re-drill or retest this area early in 2023. Again, very exciting. There are obviously high-grade lithium in the area, so it's for us to try and find out where the continuation of that pegmatite mineralisation is. There's also at the Gem Pegmatite project, it's an old mine that was mined for rubellite, and there's pegmatite and lithium in the rock chips and discovered in some previous drilling, as well as gold and nickel on this prospect. So it's very well mineralised. So we'll be testing that in the new year as well. So this to date we're looking at in the northern part of our project area. The other projects I'll talk about in further south. This is Bannon, which is a previously drilled pegmatite, was not found to be of high enough grade, and so previous explorers walked away. We believe there's a significant opportunity to expand on this and find the more highly mineralised areas. We've done an initial drill program, and we'll follow up with a further drill program in the new year. This drill program, as we announced the other day, it intersected several pegmatite areas, not thick enough really for us to zone in and do an infill program, but certainly give us comfort that there are pegmatites in the area enough for us to try and find out where they are thicker. That following up surface mineralisation in soil sampling, which had uncovered a beryllium soil anomaly. So here we are. This is further south. Another project further south, down in the southern part of the belt, the South Iron Cap East lithium project, and this is one which we had generated internally in the last couple of months, and this started out from a soil anomaly. We infilled the soils and then come up with a number of targets in this area, and including a pegmatite outcrop at surface. Significantly here, our ground is in the blue. Western areas ground was in the grey. Western areas previously had not drilled any lithium holes. They did drill a lot of holes for nickel, and a few years ago they had resampled some pegmatites that had been intersected in previous drilling. and they came up with 50 metres at 0.95% lithium in a hole which is only 1 kilometre from our discovery. So we think this is a significant opportunity. Western Areas are nickel focused and have not done anything on the lithium. Now that presents an opportunity for IGO who've come in and bought Western Areas, but also significantly there's a huge potential for us to find something here at the South Island Cap East project. One thing that is very interesting is that Western Areas have bought that nickel project, but they potentially can convert that nickel mine and processing plant into a lithium processing plant, which means if we do find anything here, we don't have to find a standalone project, and we can get to production very quickly by talking to IGO. So very, very excited by the potential down in this part of the belt. Moving on, this is probably what is going to uncover a longer term pipeline of targets. We are doing infill soil sampling all the way up and down both the eastern and western flanks of the prospective area of our tenement package, which we think is a potential to uncover a large pipeline, a long pipeline of prospects for drilling, with the focus to try and identify a major pegmatite field particularly in the southern part of the project area. Moving on to gold exploration, I know gold's not exactly in the focus of investors, but we do believe this prospect, the Forrestania project, has a number of untouched gold opportunities. It also has had no gold exploration for probably the last 20 or 30 years, and we know that the Bounty Gold project, Bounty Mine, went down to almost a kilometre underground, and a lot of these prospects here have only been drilled to 50 or 80 metres, so significant opportunity, as well as new greenfields targets that we've been developing in the granite part of the belt. Lady Lila's our most advanced gold project. It's got a small resource of 24,000 ounces. It really, as I said, hasn't had any deeper drilling or infill work. So we are looking to continue that work to extend both infill and at depth and along strike so that we can expand that resource. We've also got the Great Southern and Prince prospect, which is a really quite exciting expanding target area, which was generated by some early rock chips in the area. They're coincident with some old mining that was done very high grade back in the 1920s, 16 grams a tonne, and really hasn't had any further work. So we've done an aeromagnetic survey and found that these northwest trending structures are very much line up with the soils and the previous mining. So that's something we will look to drill early in the new year and hopefully start a bit of a gold camp there. But that's very much an emerging gold province in our view. We also have some prospects in Leonora and Southern Cross. Leonora, these are gold focused. It's very much an early stage play, but they're in highly mineralized belts, and we're doing a lot of the groundwork now to be able to develop an exciting drilling program into 2023. We've done some airborne magnetics, which has identified a significant gold greenstone belt running into our tenements, and that's going to be the subject of further follow-up work. So that's the snapshot. We believe we're significantly undervalued, unlocking an emerging lithium belt in a highly mineralised and prospective area at Forrestania. We've got a lot of strong pipeline of lithium and gold prospects, drilling coming up again early in 2023, and a lot of results from previous work, and we're going to be producing a lot of news flow, both in lithium and then starting to get into the gold exploration as well. So that's all. Any questions from anybody? I'm happy to field questions. Otherwise, we look forward to further updating you on our progress.
Excellent. Thank you, John. Sounds like Forrestania's, got a very promising next couple of years ahead. There's a question here.
Yes.
What's the cash burn rate for the wells?
Look, the drilling, it depends what drilling we're doing. The RC drilling is reasonably cost effective, I'd say. The only way for us to find these pegmatites is to drill them, and so it really depends on how quickly we do that. For example, our last program we drilled about 2,000 meters, which is about 12 drill holes, probably just under 12 drill holes, and that was about probably $200,000 all up with sampling. So look, it is obviously the expensive end of exploration, but it's the discovery part of it as well. So we're not drilling 500, 600 meter holes at all. We're drilling mainly to 150, 200 meters, and it's a combination of air core drilling and reverse circulation drilling. And we will get into diamond drilling, which is again a little bit more expensive, but necessary to get some core so you can do some metallurgy on the projects. So we've got $3.5 million in the bank at the moment, so we're well funded for the next, certainly the next several facets of the program. But as we ramp up with lithium and gold exploration, where that it does cost money, and we're not going to be sitting around just waiting for the results to come in. So we're going to be active, and that means a lot of news flow and a lot of potential for discovery and re-rating of the share price.
Yeah, excellent. And you mentioned before that there was some sites around yours that look promising. Are there any of note, and do the veins run into your field?
Well, probably the main one in the north part of the project is this Earl Grey lithium. Now we believe the pegmatites dip slightly to the east, and so those pegmatites may well be on our ground at a bit deeper. But the thing with the pegmatites is they're often stacked, so you have one here and another one further east. Generally, with the pegmatites, they are very close to what's called the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right, they say. But that's really where on this the green of the greenstone belt meets the pinky colour of the granite, and the Goldilocks zone means that pegmatites are generally found 3 to 5 kilometres either side of that contact. So they're not necessarily running in a vein or along a structure. They spill off the contact between the granite and the greenstone belt, and after that, once you find one, you've got to try and follow it down. So it's probably interesting that I'll go to the Earl Grey. Hang on, further up this way. Yeah, so this is interesting. When they found the Earl Grey project, they originally had the Bounty mine, which is a gold mine, and they found they were in the workings, assayed a pegmatite that was in the workings, and the pegmatite it was at 300 meters deep, and they had to work out which way it was going to where it came up to a shallower point, which would have been economic. They followed it back to the Earl Grey. Earl Grey was the name of an old gold mine, the Earl Grey pit, and they found the same pegmatite at the bottom of this pit, and that's where they drilled it and hit a 100-meter intercept. So it's not as straightforward as just saying following a structure, or following a particular orientation. But when you do have one, you then try and follow it to find out where it might become thick enough and mineralized with lithium. So it is a little bit like stabbing in the dark somewhat, but we feel we're in a very highly mineralized area. They say the pegmatites are found in swarms, so not just one but several, and for us to try and find out where they are with respect to previous discoveries. Down in the southern part of the belt, where we talked about this South Iron Cap East, this here is one thing we think that could be related here. That the western areas hit a 50 metres at 0.95% lithium hit. Here, 1K away, we've got a lithium. Sorry, it's a pegmatite. We don't know if it's lithium bearing, but and so we're going to drill that to see whether that's related in any way. So obviously, if we do find anything like that, then that indicates quite an extensive pegmatite, and we know they're mineralised from the previous drilling there. So very exciting, huge opportunity if we can find something. And as I said, we don't have to find 50 million tonnes or something, because if we have IGO in the area, a very interested lithium player, also invested lithium player, as they own a quarter of the Greenbushes plant project, and they also are part of the consortium building a lithium hydroxide plant in Kwinana. They are looking for lithium projects, so we think we're pretty well placed right on their border. That if we find something that we can come to some sort of partnership whereby they can help us process the lithium through their plant, but we don't then need feasibility studies to build a massive plant of our own.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got a couple of questions in chat. One's from Nick. When are you planning to drill near the historical drill hole GPR C06, which previously intersected 33 metres at 302%?
Very, very good point. This has been an issue for us, because when we listed, we thought we could just rock in there and drill away. Unfortunately, we were faced with it's quite a complicated environmental overlay in this area, and we had to do what's called a spring survey of all the plants on the areas we wanted to drill. When we listed, it was just after spring. We've come around a full year since then. We did our surveys in spring. We've now got the surveys back, and we've got approval. Just trying to work out the approval to exactly where we're allowed to drill and where we're allowed to bring in the rig. So yes, we are planning to drill that early in 2023. Actual timing on that is not quite clear, but we're hoping it's in the first couple of weeks of January. But yeah, that's a significant exploration program for us. So obviously, when we listed, that was the key point of exploration data we had, and the key discovery hole. So yes, we're excited to do it, but we've been excited for a year, so it's finally coming around, which is great. We'll make an announcement on that when we've got the final timing, but that's looking very interesting.
Yeah, good. Another one from Nick. Which tenement are you most excited about for lithium potential?
Well, look, that's again another good question. Obviously, this has lithium potential because it's got the 34 metres at 3%. However, in terms of scale, it's not as big as the areas to the south. It's also had some drilling. What I personally am most excited about is the South Iron Cap East. This is a homegrown prospect and target, and we've generated this from soils. Previously, there were soil lines every 800 metres, and they just sort of missed the anomalies. We've gone in and infilled, done in 200-metre soil lines, and assayed the tantalum mineralisation, and that's generated all of these red dots, which are they're the targets to drill. Tantalum is the key pathfinder indicator. All the major mines in WA were actually tantalum projects originally. Most Pilgangoora, Greenbushes was a tantalum tin. Wodgina, Bino up in the Cause project in Northern Territory. and Mount Catlin that Pilbara Minerals has got as well. So the tantalum is really the strongest pathfinder. So this one here never been drilled. There's some holes here that were from drilling for nickel, I think about 30 years ago, not deep enough. So we're going to be drilling this in the new year, and as I said, we've got a pegmatite outcrop there, which is right where that red dot is for the tantalum anomaly, and we're 1K from a 50 metres at 0.95%. Now, whether we hit the best part of it in our first hole, or whether we hit some pegmatite and then we expand the program to try and nail down exactly the orientation and the direction of the pegmatites. That for me, but we have a range. Obviously, there's the more advanced prospect at Gem Cutter, which has got the high grade result already. But I think this to me long term has the biggest potential.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Another one as well. Do you have any additional project acquisitions planned for 2023?
Look, we can't tell you anything about those, but we're always looking at new projects. And there's a number of areas that have been offered up to us. There's other areas that have become available. To us, it's going to come out to what's the best use of our capital and our focus, but as well taking advantage of those opportunities that come up. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a few things, but we do have a lot to do on our current projects as well that can keep us busy for a number of years.
Excellent, excellent. I think that covers just about all the questions. I'm sure shareholders got a lot out of that. Is there anything else you'd like to leave with the shareholders? Any final comments?
Well, look, thank everyone for their interest, their attention. I'm available by phone or email at any time if you want to follow up. But we look forward to giving the market some more news, obviously on the drill results that are from the drilling just done, but also looking forward to planning the next program and announcing when we're going to be kicking off drilling in the new year. So
excellent.
That shot is we're very leveraged to drilling success. We're probably one of the cheaper entry points to the lithium space with some high order targets, and so obviously we've got to drill those, and that's what we're looking to do early in the new year.
Perfect, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, John, for the presentation. Definitely sounds promising, early next year for Forrestania. This has been another webinar from Port Jackson Securities. Look forward to seeing you all in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, cheers.